Hi, I'm Von Steele. I'm the one that's doing about investing. Investing's really fun. And I'm going to go ahead and read you what my topic is specifically about and why I chose this because I personally really like investing and the stock market and stuff like that. So, as a business major, I enjoy looking at how the stock market is doing, how businesses are doing, and what they're planning to do in the future. And with that being said, my topic is mainly going to be about how everything in the world affects business. Like the littlest things in the world could like affect, especially this past election. That definitely affects how the world runs. It's crazy how something that big or something as small as like a maybe a local election could possibly be. But this topic interests me because I follow the news a fair amount and track certain businesses that I have money invested in, such companies as like Ford. And what happens in the world can have a lot of effects on how people consume goods and how the company goes about making products and the rules and regulations of what they would have to do so people are aware of what companies are doing. So I'm going to go through some of the things that I have researched. So, one major part of my notes that I have is the development of the global economy in the sense of interconnected markets for consumer products, for investment capital, and for labor. It has necessitated the development of global regulatory strategies. Excuse me. And with that comes respect to the public enforcement of the laws governing economic conduct. Economic conduct. These projects can be largely successful or fail. Such regulatory agencies, such as security commissions, antitrust authorities, they work regularly with their counterparts in other countries and also participate in multilateral organizations to create and facilitate a shared approach to cross border problems. So international commerce goes smoothly and nothing gets messed up because that can lead to a huge problem, lawsuits, millions of dollars. Um, what else? Yeah, some of the rules have been harmonized to do and develop in a number of areas, creating common standards and applicable to the activities of multinational business enterprises. So there's a set rule of how business conducts business, which is weird because this is like business is business. Businesses have to conduct themselves in certain ways in order to, I don't want to say look professional because they are professional, but in the eyes of the government, they have to work in a certain way that doesn't go against the law. They all play by the same rules. I know sometimes some don't play by the same rules, like, for instance, Amazon didn't really pay taxes last year, and that's a big concern, but that's not exactly what I'm looking into. I'm more showing you of how what businesses do to make money and how you could invest wisely so that you can make money off of their success. So basically, I'm showing you macroeconomics and the fluctuations of like potentially interest rates, exchange rates, and inflation on what causes like the prices of a certain consumer product to go up or down, and essentially in that way, as people buy products, a stock will rise or fall depending on like, oh, people are out buying cars, so we should invest in the auto industry, so buy so many shares of Ford, so many shares of General Motors, because people are buying cars right now, so we buy shares of those companies because people are consuming those cars. Excuse me. causing the price of the shares to go up, which the more basic investment tip is that buy low, sell high, and the lower you buy your share and the more shares you have and the higher your shares closes at the end of the day, and once you sell it, that's more money that goes towards you as a day trader. But me personally, I go for the long game. I'm in it for the long run. I invest to invest and make money from dividends, and that's why this topic interests me so much, because a lot of people my age, I'm 21 by the way, I feel as though a lot of people my age don't really they see the stock market as, oh, that's how the economy's doing, that's how like, oh, the stock market is doing amazing, the economy must be really good. That's, yeah, you can sort of base it off of that, but sometimes it's not really that way. Sometimes it's based in interest rates and just, yeah, things like that. Another basic thing too that doing research on this is that a lot of tariffs and embargoes go into place too, because certain countries don't like to trade with certain countries, so importing and exporting is kind of hard. So maybe cars is a huge thing too, because like there's some cars made in certain countries that we don't get here in the United States, and there's certain reasons for that, being like tariffs, taxes on that. So it's like, why are we going to sell a certain car in this country if we're not going to make money from it? So they're not going to sell it here because they want to get the most money from that vehicle, due to the fact that it's just cheaper to produce in a certain country and more profitable to sell it in another country. A lot, yeah. I'm still doing research on this topic currently, still, because of the past elections. I really want to dive deeper into what companies are doing and what countries are doing too, due to this past election, because obviously this is going to stir the pot for a lot of places and companies. So it's really interesting to see the perspective of other CEOs to see, oh no, we have a different president. What's going to happen? They're preparing for the future. They're preparing for the future and trying to stay ahead of the game, because it's very competitive out there. There's multiple companies wanting to be the top and always coming out on first. Just look at Amazon, one of the top like e-commerce businesses in the world. That's probably the first place you think to buy something is, oh, I will shop on Amazon to buy something, because it's potentially cheaper on there than to actually go to the store, which I guess 9 times out of 10 it is true. But companies are always innovating, always changing. They're always looking for new outlets to make money from. So that is another thing that you always need to be aware of, is where is a company heading in the next 10, 20 years, because that's how far down the line these companies are looking. They're looking for the newest and best technologies, newer markets that have never been touched before. I mean, just look at all the things like DoorDash, mainly DoorDash. Like, yeah, it's literally just a service to get you food from the comfort of your own home, and business just amazes me. Like, it's crazy to think that people are always like constantly thinking of new ideas, new potentials in markets, new ideas of a new product. This this is so much fun to research, and there's a lot of more research I have to do, and because most of the research I've done is literally scraping the surface of what investing is and what it means to me, and to simplify investing for people that don't normally invest for others.